Hi, creative friends. This is Soraya, and thank you so much for being here. So this is a short that I did the other day, and I posted it. So if you were interested, you can go and look at it. And basically, what I did is I started off very heavy with the collage, and I just find that when I kind of take my, like overthinking and my logical mind out of it, and I just work really fast, then it really kind of lets me lean more into my intuition rather than, oh, does this color go together? Does this make sense? Excuse me, does this, and then fill in the blanks. So I am now going to work on this, but I'm gonna disrupt it with collage. Now, this is part of my 100-day project, my mixed media portraits. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to find some collage that I'm just gonna like disrupt the whole piece with, because this is looking a bit too much like all of my other collages. So I just want it to be a little bit different. So I don't know what pieces I'm gonna use, but let's just see here what we can do. Now, I really love this little piece here. It's just like I used it as a headpiece. So see, it was like part of an old journal and I ripped it up. But I love this. Like, look at that, you guys. Ooh, I'm loving this already. Now, I don't know if it's going to stick because it is kind of, it's got some weight to it. So I don't know if I don't have my hot glue gun turned on. I'm gonna try to put some Mod Podge, and if it doesn't work, I will go in later and use my hot glue gun maybe, but maybe it'll stick. Ooh, I love that, you guys. Like, look at that. It just makes it look, different. So that's what this video, I'm gonna try to use collage to just disrupt what's going on. Sometimes disruption can be a path that leads somewhere else, or sometimes the disruption can actually, can be the path. So what I mean by that is maybe I'm going to disrupt something and then, I'm going to go down a particular path and the disruption is going to get covered up, or maybe I'm going to leave the disruption as part of my finished piece. So, I never know what's going to happen, but disrupting your piece just leads to stepping outside of the, what's comfortable. So I really like disrupting things. And you don't just have to, you can use other things to disrupt your piece. Like, it doesn't just have to be collage. You can use a new technique. You can use a new art supply. You can, just go in and like spill ink down and cover up the eyes with ink, or I mean, there's no limit to how you can disrupt it. Just I'm using collage. Oh yeah, so while I try to stick this down here, I just wanted to mention a couple of different things. The first thing is that somebody left a comment that I thought was so juicy and delicious, and they said that collage is like poetry. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? That is absolutely true. And thank you so much, Denise, for leaving that message. I love that, love that, love that. And it's true because, I feel like collage just gets to the heart of things. And I know sometimes, like in my life, when I'm dealing with a lot of heavy emotional stuff, I don't want to read. I don't want to read like heavy, dense things, which I usually love. I love fiction, nonfiction, historical fiction. I love all of those, denser kind of reads. But sometimes when I'm dealing with a lot emotionally, I only want to read poetry because it just kind of doesn't ask so much of me in a logical mental way, but it just gets to the heart of things. And it just like is a like medicine, like just so healing to me. So yeah, I think collage is absolutely like poetry, and I just love that comparison. So the second thing is this is about varnish. So I got a few comments because I had mentioned that you can put varnish over top of oil pastels. And I was only saying that because somebody had left that comment on one of my older videos about oil pastels. Now, I do not use varnish at all, but somebody else left additional comments that said, well, be careful of the varnish you use, because if it's a glossy varnish, it can still lead to sticking of pages. So you guys, I'm just going to say that I do not know enough about the whole varnish situation. I was just going by what the first person said, which is, hey, if you use varnish over top of your oil pastels, not only will it seal it, but it won't make a film, and it will actually, it will keep it from moving, and it will actually bring out the colors. And so I was just going by that, but I do not use varnish at all. I have used varnish on my acrylics, but that's generally like if I'm selling it and I want to seal it and I want to bring out the colors, but I do not use varnish on any of my art journals, oil pastels or otherwise. So yeah, you guys, if you are going to use varnish, I would experiment and research it, and don't go by what I'm saying, because I was just relaying a comment, but I do not personally use varnish, so I don't know enough about it. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that, because sticking pages is just a terrible situation, and I have actually cried. Like, I have literally just cried and cried and cried when my pages have stuck, because there's nothing you can do. You just basically have to check it out. It's terrible. And it's a lot of your time and effort and work and heart, and all of those things go into making your art journals. So yeah, to have your pages stick is just horrible. So yeah, I would just do my due diligence, you guys, about the varnish. Now, I really am loving that piece, and I think it might stick, you guys. Now, I want to disrupt more of this because I feel like it's a little bit too similar to my other portraits, and I want it to be different. Now, I do love that piece, but I want it to be more different, and I don't know. Let me see here. I want a piece that's really kind of going to, let's see, this is an old junk journal of mine here. Let's see, no, nothing really kind of stands out to me. Well, I do like, maybe, no, not really feeling any of that, you guys. I just want a piece of, now this is a really old brochure of mine. Nope. Okay. This is an old map that I dipped in tea, and it's really beautiful. Let me see here. I just feel like, yeah, it's interesting, but excuse me, the color is too similar. Now this is interesting. Obviously, Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel, like, yeah, really interesting, but maybe not appropriate for that. I don't know. I like that blue. Let me see here. Sometimes you just have to like go looking, you guys, for a piece that's really gonna kind of make things pop. And sometimes you find it and sometimes you don't, and it's okay. It's okay. I do love that piece there. I don't know. Let me see here. Oh, I like this, you guys. I like this. Now this is kind of like interesting. It's just like a, look, the imagery is just, it's just interesting to me. Like, it almost looks like very primitive, like, but I'm gonna tear it like, no. And sometimes things just don't work the way you think they're going to, which is, ooh, I kind of like that there, you guys. I don't know. I might turn this into like an earring or like some head jewelry or something. Like hair jewelry, an earring, something like that. Okay. maybe. I don't know. Do I want it on both sides? Okay. We'll try it out for now. Let's see what happens. It could be an earring situation. Okay. So you see, you guys, it doesn't have to be anything like major. It can just be a small disruption, but a disruption is a disruption. And because I put, you know, these pieces down, now it leads me to look at the piece in new ways. And because I have that blue here, I'm going to repeat some of the blue here, and, you know, so on and so forth. So everything that we do on the page leads to the next piece. So by me putting down collage, it doesn't have to be collage. It could be, like I said, anything. You can disrupt it with, you know, whatever you want. And sometimes disruption is just like, it's best to approach it from a point of view of curiosity and play and beginner's mind. Like, hey, let me just see what happens if I do this. And not as a, oh, I'm going to do this and this, you know, and I'm going to do A and B is going to happen. Instead of that certainty, but just to say, you know what, I'm going to do this and let's just see what happens. I find like that's just a really good way to look at it. And that way I don't have like high expectations, and I also don't have like a lot of frustrations because, you know, I didn't find the correct piece or things didn't go the way I wanted or whatever. Okay. I'm really loving this little headpiece here. Like this, oh, I love it. I just love it so much. I'm just building up the face here. So you guys, a few of the tricks that I have used over the years is when I'm kind of like, I feel like things are flat. I don't know what I'm doing. I just feel uninspired. I just feel like, oh my God, this seemed like a good idea at the time, but now it's just looking blah. It looks too much like everything else I've done. I want to do something different. You know, all of those things that come up, which is just part and parcel of creating. What I do is a few tricks I have that have worked really, that continue to work really well for me, is I work really fast. I don't think about things. I just, you know, put on some Dr. Clarissa Pinkola SDs, or I put on some music or whatever, and I just really get into my body. And artist Flora Bowley, she really talks about this a lot, where, you know, you really drop into your body and you really kind of feel, you know, the brush is an extension of your hand, and it's an extension of your arm, and you're just like moving, and you're just really in the moment, and you're just like the movements, you know, of your body, and you're putting all of that energy into your art. I find that's just a really good way to kind of bring some new energy into the piece. And another thing I really love, which is what I'm talking about in this video, is disruption. You can use anything to disrupt. You can use, like I said, collage, or a new technique, or a different art supply, or like you can introduce a new color into your palette, a new design. You can add some writing, or turn it upside down, or, you know, just dribble some you know, paint on it. Like what I think I'm gonna do, actually, you guys, now that I'm just talking about it, I have this Dilutions ink here, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of like not overthink it, but oof, I'm probably got a little bit too feisty with that. I didn't want to cover up the eye, but you know what, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, and just kind of like, you know, just add some new juice to the piece. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to let this dry, and I'm just going to dribble it onto my other pieces here. So yeah, it is looking messy, but I'm kind of liking the messiness of it. It's just, it disrupted it. And yeah, I don't like the fact that this eye got covered up, but you know what? I'm just gonna let it be and leave it and come back to it. So anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.